Oh, hello. I am the Broom.
The Broom. When justice came in contact with injustice. Out of the light and dark, out of the chaos of extreme injustice, the Broom was created. Forged with the bristles of justice and a handle of righteous wood, the Broom is here to clean up the streets.
I'm cleaning up this city. I am the Broom. Who am I? Well, I am the Antichrist. Why am I the Antichrist? Because I am looking for solutions to problems. The Antichrist is a fail-safe mechanism built into their doctrines to prevent anyone from attempting to find solutions to their problems. Technically, Christ is also a fail-safe mechanism, as you may not seek solutions, you have to sit and wait for someone to come from the clouds with the answers. So they are controlling it from both ends. They have it written into their doctrines that one day a great uniter will come and solve a bunch of problems, but watch out because that's going to be the Antichrist. So your only two options are, wait forever for someone to come down from the clouds with all the answers, or try to solve the problems yourself, in which case you are the Antichrist. These are fail-safe mechanisms on their narrative of control. They want the problems. They benefit off of the problems. They farm the problems. Don't you dare come along and say that you think that you have the solution to any of their problems, otherwise you are the Antichrist. The clock is ticking, counting down. To what? To all kinds of things that we are being left entirely vulnerable to. It's like an ongoing joke against the hard-working civilian population. People in power leave things unaddressed on purpose. For all sorts of nefarious purposes, it's mostly about valuation schemes, to get one up on others, to gain advantage and take advantage of them. It is using power for self-benefit instead of the benefit of all. And so this is a channel based on a system that is designed to address these issues. Since the system has already failed me and has viciously tried to shove me out of life, and since the system has failed everyone as it sets the stage for various calamities that it will profit from while indiscriminately ruining people's lives, I will address various aspects of that system here and compare them to the concepts that arise from a system based upon universal law. The goal is to make a system that is based on universal law and functions exactly the same for everyone under all circumstances. Since those in power in present systems have given in to debauchery, they are already content in the personal gains they have procured with their power, and so they have no intention of preventing the setups heading our way within their present system. And so it is up to us if we are going to find solutions to the problems that are being presented to us. You will not hear much about solutions to the problems they are presenting to us from anyone. It is a setup. It is a buffet for the primitive and the throwback to have free access to the human being as a commodity. They have eroded and continue to erode our personal rights and quality of life. Their endgame is impoverishment and enslavement. You can measure their intentions by the level of their contribution over time. With all of their power at the higher levels of governments around the world, you would expect over time systemic and technological advancements, wonders of science, modern marvels that make our lives easier. But we hardly see any of that. They are busy with other things like furthering the distance between us and their breakaway civilizations. It comes down to very basic things like laziness and control, using mobs of violence to corral the non-violent into ever-tightening routines of trading away time and energy for less and less value. Things like depressions and inflation are built into their system and allow for staged events of greed to periodically seize the assets of the working class while culling them like cattle. Those at the top of the hand-me-down power structure still carry and pass on a very primitive perspective of both their power and what to do with it, as well as their perspective of all life. You will not hear from them debates on topics of importance or insights or solutions to the problems affecting us. Many of those problems are caused by the system itself. They don't have solutions or even suggestions for things such as inflation. Nor do they ever even mention problems further down the road or just around the corner, such as the devaluation of their fiat currency due to overprinting. Their system is a time bomb. It has an expiration date, and they don't even mention that there is even a problem. That's because it is a setup. They intend for the problem to cause catastrophic events like a depression, which can cause a war, and so on. All of which they orchestrate and benefit off of. They hang back in the shadows and pretend that it is out of their control and that there is no solution other than to bow back down to that system that has already failed several times over. They will just keep resetting it. They keep benefiting, and they keep making people suffer. You won't hear of a solution among them, though. Not anyone. Not anyone in the system or outside of it. Not critical critics of that system nor its opponents. Nobody has a solution to offer. Not about anything. They are all waiting on each other or no one at all. As tensions around the world rise as their system inevitably collapses as it was designed to do, these men are drooling over the prospect of World War III. They don't offer solutions, they just continue to inch and then march towards it. These excuses for men do not appreciate what they have. They need to look their wives and children in the eyes and tell them that they do not appreciate them, that they would rather drool over their weapons and bloodlust over other men as they roll around in the dirt and the blood. They need to tell their families that they would rather die for some undefined fake reason and for everyone to die for some undefined fake reason than to live a long and peaceful life with them. These men who do not think. These bloodlusting men who never stop for 1 second to think of solutions while they march toward the solution of endless pointless war. The system is protecting itself by putting the narrative of finger-pointing at everything other than itself into our mainstream media. It is turning races against races, nations against nations, and men against women. They do not seek nor mention any method by which they can come to a solution to any of these intensifying problems. Instead, they revel in turning everyone against each other as they set us up to be taken down as isolated individuals. This isn't my first channel. I've written a book, made a bunch of videos, and have been working on solutions and an overall new system to address all of these problems for a long time now. No one is really listening to me. They may need for their system to completely fail in order to take action. I see the signs and have been taking action by developing concepts for solutions in advance. My previous work has been an attempt to make peace with and try to help in an orderly fashion. But not with this channel. With this channel, I am going to take a more confrontational and disorderly approach. After a few introductory videos to lay the framework of the system, I will just start blabbing about whatever comes to mind at that time. I'm no longer going to be polite and friendly about this, while this thing makes passes on our lives. But at the same time, everything I say is just suggestion and meant to be influential or educational in regards to new concepts and new approaches to topics that can be potential solutions. These videos will be part of my political campaign. Although I might run for some type of office, the entire process is far too slow, so this will be the sharing of this message regardless. I'm coming after everything that is not in line with universal law, and so I might at some point trample on something sacred to you. That is not my intention, and I just ask that you help me by trying to focus on the system that we can build itself and not confuse me with it. That system can bring many benefits to many people. And the first thing I'm going to do is sabotage it with my enraged emotional state. I intend to give a little feedback about my experience here thus far, and it hasn't been good. Please separate and discern between me raving like a madman and the system that stands independently of me. I am open to any questions, debate, or criticism about this system, or any assistance. I will come from a perspective of running various topics through the system as though the system I am discussing were already there. I will continue to do the jobs of all of your mansion-dwelling politicians and power brokers all around the world, out of the broom closets that you stuff me in. And I will tell you aspects of how the new system works, since those power brokers have already failed.